Good afternoon. I've been messing with some yucca again, and I took some dried yucca leaves from our yucca plant in the backyard. Took them off. You can see I got a handful of them here. And I put them in my retting tank that I'm using for retting my flax. And they've been retting for 3 days. And found a way to separate these fibers fairly quick. So you just pull all the big junk off. And instead of just pulling apart like this, I saw a video where somebody did a little nifty little trick. Took their flat leaves and ran them over a comb like this. So this is a comb for floral use to put your flowers in the bottom of a vase. And what they did is they took, so you could separate it if you wanted to. So let's say I'll separate it in half. And then they just put this on here and just pull it through the tines. And it literally starts separating all these fibers apart. So we're combing these fibers out. You put it in and comb it some more. Put it in. Comb it some more. Comb it some more. And it helps pull some of the soft stuff off because this is still fresh, rinsed out of the retting tank and not dried yet because I want to separate these fibers. And this is yucca, so these are going to be a lot coarser of a fiber than flax, even though some of these fibers are pretty thin like flax. They are a coarser fiber, not quite so soft, but they're very strong and they're quite long. So we just pull them through. So you can see I can start getting all these nice little fibers from here. Then I can turn it around, do the same thing. So you can see I just punch it through and then just pull it. You can see it just separates. Go down a little further, punch it, pull, punch it, pull. And eventually you've just combed a whole bunch. Pulls out the junky stuff just like with any other hackle, and that just goes away. That's the toe. And now you have all these really nice fibers to work with. Nice big long fibers. So we can let these dry. And so far I've got this, and they dry quickly, and so all the non-fibrous stuff can start to fall off. But in order to use it, then you'd want to soak it just to dampen it so you can do your plying and create your cord. And then after you create your cord, then you can do your null binding or knitting or whatever you're going to do. And so null binding is what I want to try. But I need to have something suitable. But I want something coarse, something that was like used a long time ago, would be a normal thing to have done, and then just do that. So I'm going to go through a little bit of this and make some, and you can just watch. So take this bundle here. Actually, I'm going to take this bundle here and just start running it over the comb wet. And it really separates those fibers. And then the comb picks up a lot of the soft, non-fibrous parts of the leaf and just kind of holds them. So there's some long fibers there I want to keep that just kind of came out. So some good long fibers there. Set that up in my with my other ones. And turn this around. And then just poke and pull. Poke it down over the nails and then pull. And that just gives a good separation, good combing. Finer combs might work better, but I find that with this, these fibers are really nice. And you can see how fine and nice these fibers are. And it's fairly quick, and it's also drying really fast out here in the warm breeze. Just got it hanging up on a little piece over here. Eventually this will get clogged up, and so I'll want to unclog it, so I'll stick a stick or something underneath these tines and just pull it out. Open these tines back up again. And again, so it just separates those fibers just like that quick. Nice big long fibers. And then you can pull a lot of this off, but eventually that gets clogged up. So I'm gonna pull another. So this is after 3 days of retting in the water, changing water every day, changing about a third of the water every day. And so this right here is really thick and wet, and it's just pulp, and that's not what we want. We just want the fiber, not the pulp that comes along with this. This just helps. It's amazing. The little YouTube video I saw of them doing it this way, and made some real quick work. And I'll put a link to that video so you can see. And so I'm just emulating that video. So working all the way to the tip isn't necessary. Sometimes that is bad, so there's some bad spots there on that one, but it doesn't matter. They don't have to be perfectly all the same length because I'm hand cording this. It's not like going on a spinning wheel, but I could probably do a spinning wheel, or at least a hand spindle with some of this fiber once it's been dried a little bit more. And drying it also shrinks it and allows to break away some of the pulpy stuff that doesn't belong. So just like that. And, so that's pretty quick work. Pull all the toe stuff off, and could probably do this dry. Not sure how well it would work dry. May not pull all the pulpy stuff, but the pulpy stuff might just flake away and it might work just fine. So maybe I'll do a bit trying this with the with it dry, and get a couple pieces and just let them dry and then try it out, see what happens, see how well it works. And again, just that fast, you've got all these fibers. quick work of this stuff. So get all the pulpy stuff off. So the next step is the null binding, just to make a hat or a bag or something. So I want to try it. I'm going to do my first attempt on video without any prior practice once I get a new needle made. So I'm going to try and make a needle tonight. It's going to probably be a wood needle. I don't have any bone or antler, so I can't do that. Might be able to get some antler pretty soon from a friend of mine, from one of their hunting trips. I'm not much of a hunter, but they do, and they can get antler. So we'll see if they can do something like that for me. And again, just showing how quick and nice this is. And so you could get enough fiber from a little bit on the plant. This is more of a modern thing because I'm using a metal tool, not like stone tools or anything like that. So there's some differences there. How the Indians would do this from a long time ago, I don't know. Maybe they just retted it and then crushed it after it was dry and got the fibers. I did do a video with a different kind of yucca and used a wood stick to pound and a rock for an anvil and help pound the pulp of the leaf, and that helps separate the fibers quite well, and that produced some pretty good fiber. But for the yucca plant that I have in the backyard, it's a big flat leaf, big flat like this, and then they just die, kind of flop over like on a palm tree, and then they just kind of hang alongside the plant. And it's like these fibers are still tough, so it's not like I have to harvest green leaves. I can harvest the old dead stuff, and the reason I know I can do that is because I did that with a Joshua tree one year and just picked some old dead Joshua tree stuff that was laying on the ground and didn't even pull it off the tree, and got home and processed the fibers out of that, and it's like, yeah, okay, so the dry stuff is just as good. And again, nice fibers, nice and long. And yields a good crazy amount of fiber. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the video. You don't need to sit here and watch me do all this. And then I'll come back when I got it all done, and I'll do a little video just finishing up, getting everything done here. Just gonna clean this out with a little metal tool. Worried about this part here. This will dry out and this stuff will just kind of flake away. So it was very consistent throughout the whole batch on getting fibers. And what I found is on this thick part, because it's really thick and pulpy, there's still good fibers in there. So I've actually put this down at about this point and then pull it through, which helps separate and pop off the really thick pulpy end that we don't need, and then it just makes for really nice fiber all the rest of the way through. So this piece and this piece I'm going to let dry, and then I'm going to try the same technique but dry, see what happens. So what I have is a nice bundle of nice fiber from the yucca plant, which is just absolutely perfect for what I want to do for doing the cordage. So most of this is still damp, so it needs to dry before I can start making any cordage. And in the meantime, I'm going to make a needle so we can get started on the rest. So while I do that, might be a day or so, we'll get this video put up on what I just showed here for processing my thin leaf yucca, including having this stuff ret for 3 days in a retting pond along with my flax, which helped soften everything up. Now there's still a lot of pulpy stuff on this fiber, but once it dries, I think most of that's going to fall away. And then when we cord this up, I'm going to want to get it slightly damp and then do that. I don't know if I want to do it dry. I'm not sure how well that'll work, because I don't want things to break apart and fall apart. But some of these fibers are really fine, and I can't see that there's any reason why we wouldn't have a really quality product. And this is going to create a very long piece of cordage. And I'm not going to make the cordage very thick, because I want to increase, have as much length as possible and a really fine cloth made from it using that null binding technique. See how I get on with that. So there you go. And this is from, if you don't know, I'm in Northern California, up in Marysville, and it's very dry this time of year, hot and dry. This is a plant we have in our backyard and had it for a long time, and I still have a lot of dry leaves I can process. So there you go, and we'll get back with you again a little bit later. So have a good day.